I'm sure everybody on the call has been through, different journeys throughout your career of rolling something out. And, this has been a 3 to 4 year journey, and to think about where we are today versus where we were 3 to 4 years ago. There's been a lot of learning lessons for us. The biggest pain point, I think, if you talk to anyone at T-Mobile, would be really teaching our leaders to think differently, to move away from thinking transactionally and thinking about each and every single call, to thinking like business owners. And when I say that, that was the biggest challenge, that wasn't on our frontline supervisors or managers. That was on VPs like myself. As we went through, realized, we weren't providing the training and the support needed. And as we started to evolve, we realized, pretty quickly early on that was probably one of the biggest opportunities, was making sure we're putting that training out there. I really spent time, and I added that slide. I think I added it in last minute about the P&L, because that was really the tool that changed allowed our folks. It was a tool that they can go into, and they can change, the metrics and project, hey, if I start to really focus on my DX, what will that do to my P&L? If I start to, improve my first call resolution, what does that do to my P&L? And how do I put strategies in place as a frontline manager, right? That's truly becoming a business owner. And once they had that tool, we provided the training. How do I then take that tool and share it with my team and coach them to act and think differently? That really started to catapult us. But one other thing, and this is probably more, as you can imagine, everyone on this call, we went from being, call routing was next available agent 4 years ago. But for us to really be able to provide the own customer base, and when I say own customer base, each team of expert owns a customer base of about 120,000 customers. So the second part that was probably one of the biggest challenges was just the call routing, because we wanted the customer bases to be aligned based off of geo. So you saw on the slide that I had when I talked about the P&L tool, if I'm a team of experts, I could have Philadelphia, and my 120,000 customers are part of that Philadelphia market. So to be able to set up all the skills necessary for that geo-based routing, it's a good thing. With the P&L tool, we've got people a lot smarter than myself working at T-Mobile to be able to put those that help us with that geo-based routing, put the tools and training in place to be able to support our frontline and bring this to life. The other thing I'll talk about with the P&L, because I've talked a lot about it from the care perspective, but what's really neat, if you think about, I own my base, my 120,000 customers in Philadelphia. It makes it easy for me then to talk to my retail partners and vice versa. For those folks who, managers, senior managers or directors who own that retail in the Philadelphia market, they know exactly who to call on the care side. And we also know from an engineering perspective who to talk to. So as I start to see trends coming in about offers that one of my competitors might be putting out into the marketplace, we hear about that in a day. We can quickly reach out to retail, quickly then engage to say, hey, how do we counter that? And we can react very, very quickly. So I think I spent a couple of minutes answering the questions about some of the pain points, but I wanted to kind of address it from an operations perspective as well from some of the support perspective.
Oh, thank you, Mark. And as a follow-up to that, very quickly, a lot of folks are very intrigued with the P&L piece. Very quickly, several questions around people incented and bonus based on the P&L.
They are based off the P&L, and that P&L is at a team level, right? So my own team. So that way, think about the ultimate from an accountability perspective, because, in the past when it's next available agent, I get a really difficult call. Maybe I don't put the time and effort into it because I'm concerned about my CRT. But now, if I don't put the time and effort into it and that customer has to call right back, there's a good chance they get me, or if they don't get me, they get the person that sitting next to me. So we all own, and that's really, drives accountability. Also accountability with our customers. There's also times where a customer doesn't like what they heard. They want to call back in and see if they can roll the dice, get a different frontline agent, and see if that different frontline agent will give them a different answer. So it ensures accountability across the board. But we have two really key metrics out there, and it's that P&L and an NPS. 50% of the goals are at the team level, 50% are individual level for our frontline experts.